All right, welcome to the final Tuesday Tiger Talk. Believe it or not, we did get the extra one, the one we've all been waiting for. ACC Championship Week is here. Tons of stuff headed your way all week as Tigers prepare to take on Miami in the most important game of the year, the one that will send them to the playoffs.
Win or you in?
Win and you in. Will, let's start with you. Obviously, we had our normal Tuesday Dabo press conference. What one of the things that sticks out to you from the press conference today?
It was really kind of a weird press conference. It wasn't really, other than he talked about Miami, it wasn't really anything newsworthy from Dabo's side of things. It was just, he talked about the rankings, and they really don't matter unless the only thing that matters is about where you go and what maybe uniform you wear, and that's it. That's really the only thing.
It matters.
Yeah, well, it matters for you, absolutely, and it matters, and it matters for Clemson fans too, because I'm sure Clemson fans rather be closer and go to New Orleans. It's more of a closer trip, and Dabo even mentioned that would be something better for the fans to go to New Orleans. But in the grand scheme of things, as far as the team goes, it doesn't matter in the sense that it's just all about just them. What color uniform they're going to wear in the game is all. The thing is getting in the game, in the top four. And he said that's all it's about, just getting in the top four. And of course, as we all know, the Tigers have that opportunity on Saturday.
Winning, they're in. Hopefully tonight they'll be number one in the final rankings before the championship games. Gavin, what's one of the things that stuck out to you? Obviously, we did get Coach Venables today. We got a number of players. A lot of questions about South Carolina. A lot of questions about the championship game. The chain, everything. What was some things stuck out to you?
Well, it's that time of year, of course, where the NFL draft's looming after the season. There's players like Clemson's Clelin Ferrell who are getting questions about their NFL future and if they've decided whether they're going to stick around another year or declare early for the NFL draft after this year. And Cleveland was asked about that today, asked about if he and some of the other guys on Clemson's defensive line, like Christian Wilkins, Austin Bryant, have talked internally about their NFL future, whether they want to stay, whether they want to go. And Cleveland answered, he said, honestly, it's not something that he's even thought about right now, not something that he or they are focused on right now at all. He said they're so dialed in and so locked in on playing the next game for Clemson that they're all in for the season, and that's not that they don't really even have time to think about their NFL future right now.
So they lied to you.
if you that's one way to put it. If you're a Clemson fan, you kind of got to like hearing that a little bit, just because if he is telling the truth and they are focused on the season, that's something that you like to hear. That's not the distraction, because it can be at this time of year with the NFL looming, the money's on the line with these guys. They got to make a decision that's best for them, but that's a decision that Cleveland says that they're not going to focus on right now.
He's lying. They are focused on the game, but this time of year, if they're getting ready to go to the NFL, they're definitely thinking about that. They're definitely hearing from agents and people, and as Will said, he's definitely going. He should go.
He's a top 10.
He should absolutely go. Obviously, the other big topic today that we were wondering whether Venables was going to show up or not show up with all the rumors floating around out there. He was late, but he did show up, as we told you last night in the Insider. Had he not showed up, it would have meant absolutely nothing, because he's missed several of these Tuesday sessions of late. Will, what was your take on he got two questions related to the other jobs. What was your take on what you heard?
Yeah, the first question was, what? First of all, do you know about the rumors and all that? And of course, he did, and he addressed it and said, he's happy here. He's focused on playing the ACC championship game. The standard answer that you would, probably think you would hear from him. And then it was asked again, does it annoy you to get these questions? And so he says, well, since I'm being asked this question, yes, I'm annoyed. It is annoying. And then he talked more about how, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. He says you do listen, which we all are. If your daddy raised you right, he always taught every single one of us, you listen when somebody comes offering you something. But he says it doesn't always mean the grass is greener on the other side. And he was kind of stern a little bit about that, a little bit more stern with the second answer, saying, about being annoyed and that, he's happy here. He really loves Clemson. And he says, when you do a good job, people are going to come after you, and that's just part of it. And so and he says right now, he hasn't listened to any overtures. He's just been focused on doing what he can do to make sure Clemson wins another ACC championship.
And I think he was annoyed somewhat because he got the question kind of the second way phrased a little bit differently. Kevin, what was your take?
Yeah, I agree. I thought he kind of seemed a little irritated more the second time around than after he kind of just basically had just somebody else just digging a little bit more for more information on it. He kind of said the same thing again the second time around. But I'm with you guys. I think he is kind of. I think there's some truth behind what he's saying. He's happy with where he is right now. He's one of the most highly paid defensive coordinators in the country. Doesn't have to worry about the stress of head coaching gig. His family, he's got his family rooted in here with Tyler Venables, 2020 athlete just offered by Clemson recently. Jake's committed to Clemson, so I definitely don't think he's lying when he's saying he's happy here. I think it would definitely take a great opportunity elsewhere for him to leave.
Yeah, obviously we'll continue to follow all those rumors. We expect there may be some rumors on some other current coaches as well. That's one of the things you see when you've got a successful program. So continue to follow all that. We'll got tons of coverage headed your way all week as we head to Charlotte. I'll be heading to Charlotte here shortly and prepare for the championship game. And then hopefully we'll have a whole month of prep as we get ready for another college football playoff. Stay tuned to TCI for the most complete coverage of Clemson football.